Today I'm gonna test some myths in Brookhaven. We'll be looking at various myths and checking if they work or not. I really want all the myths I test to be true, so I hope all the myths will work. You can write myths you know in the comments so that I can check them in the next video. And the first myth is very interesting. Can I use 2 helicopters at the same time? On the private server we can choose 3 vehicles at once, but on a public server we can only choose 1 vehicle. So now I want to check if I can take 2 helicopters. To do this, I need to choose a military house and place it near the police station. In the military house, I want to check if there is a helipad on the roof and a button to choose a helicopter. After we check that there is a helipad and a button in the military house, we need to go to the police station and choose a helicopter there. We should fly to the roof of the military house and check if we can take a second helicopter without the first one disappearing. This is very important. If the first helicopter disappears, the myth will be false. After placing the helicopter on the roof, we need to press the button to spawn the helicopter. After doing so, we can see if we can use the second helicopter or not. And yes, this myth is true. We can use the second helicopter and the first one we took from the police station stays on the roof. This myth is confirmed, but how many helicopters can we take? Maybe we can take 3 helicopters, as we can choose 3 vehicles on a private server. I want to place this helicopter next to the helipad like I did with the first one and try pressing the button again to choose a third helicopter. After getting into the second helicopter and pressing the button to choose the third one, we can't do it. This means we can only choose 2 helicopters in Brookhaven. But we tested the myth for 2 helicopters and this myth is true. That's cool, and I'm ready to test the next myth. Is it true that we can't take weapons in the gun store? Let's check if this myth is true or false. I think it's false, because why would they make a gun store if we can't take weapons there? By the way, do you even remember the gun store? I think I went there only once when an update came out and Wolfpack added this gun store to Brookhaven, and I haven't been there since. When I press on the wall with weapons, I can choose any weapon hanging there, but I can't take the weapons lying under the glass on the counter. I can only take the ones hanging on the walls. But this myth is false, because we can take weapons there, and there are many different types of weapons hanging on the walls, and we can get all of them. Well, I'm ready to taste the next myth. The next myth is about whether I can get into the wall in the motel. If we sit on the sofa in the motel and remove the room, we can stay inside. But can we crawl through the wall using a sleeping bag or sofa? And what will we see behind the wall? By the way, it's cool and convenient that now we can glitch through using the new sofa. Now I want to use the new method to go through the wall. When I use the sofa, we all see that I can pass through the wall and see the same place that I see when I sit on the sofa or use the AFK emote and remove the room. But I can't go beyond the borders of this cube here. If I do, I get thrown out on the motel. However, if I move the camera, we can see the same things there. But this myth is true, and it works because I was able to go through the wall and find a secret spot. I hope you're ready to taste the next myth. Is it true that I can become small and get onto the roof of the garage at the post office when it opens? It sounds very interesting and I want to check it now. I really hope this myth is true because I think it's fascinating. To take this secret, we need to shrink and try to get onto the door. I will reduce my height to the smallest. After that, we need to press the button to make the garage door start opening, and at the moment, we should jump onto the door. When it rises, we should end up between the ceiling and the door. And it seems like this myth is true and it works. But I don't know why, but I can't can zoom out the camera and change its position to show how it looks. I've tried many times to move the camera in different ways, but it just doesn't work. So if you have a private server, you can use the free cam and then you will be able to see what it looks like. When we use the free cam, we can see half of my head in the ceiling, and that's why I couldn't adjust the camera. But this myth is true and it works. We can get under the garage door if we become small. I'm really glad this myth is true and ready to taste the next one. Is it true if you go through the wall into the auto shop, there is a secret place beneath the map? I suggest tasting this myth now. We have many secret places under the map that we can reach by going through mountains or using a helicopter, so I think this myth is true. But what is this secret place near the auto shop? To taste this myth, I need to use a sleeping bag or sofa. Since I've already used the sofa today when checking the Motel myth, I think I should choose the sleeping bag. In the auto shop, we need to use the garage and sneak through the wall. We insert the sleeping bag into the wall, and when we lie down, we can zoom out the camera and see that there is a secret place under the map, confirming that this myth is true. However, we can't go there directly. To reach this secret place, you need to take a helicopter, fly under the map, find the spot and land there. But this myth is true, and we found such a secret place under the map, and it's quite spacious, by the way. There are no more ways to get into the secret place but like this, if you go through the wall with a sleeping bag and can see that it's there, confirming the myth is true. Now I want to taste the last myth in Brookhaven, and I'm not sure about it. It seems to me that it's not true and doesn't work. Is it true that if I go into the oven in the pizzeria, I will burn? I know such a myth works with the stove or grill, but with the pizza oven, I think it's not true. We can check this when we go to the mall, and there is Moss Pizza with an oven in the kitchen. There we need to go to the kitchen, turn on the oven and go inside. But we can't go inside unless we shrink our height, just like with the garage door, and then go into the oven. But when we enter the oven, smoke appears, but we don't burn. There is no fire. When I exit the oven, sometimes the smoke spots and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't understand what caused this. I can't even say whether this myth is true or not, so I smoke when inside the oven, but I don't burn. It just smoke. However, I believe the myth is false because I should have burned, but I didn't. What do you guys think? Is this myth true or not? You can write in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Your support means a lot to me.